Welcome back all. We will be looking at the mobile churches that bring nothing but death to the enemies of mankind. It's a new month, and with that comes new giveaways. Our Patreons have currently a 1 in 10 chance of winning 1 of 2 combat patrols for as little as £3 a month. More importantly, we are also giving away a WARHOUND Titan. More details in the comments. The tanks of the Sisters don't really benefit from the Sisters core strats. In a pinch, Tank Shock, which deals mortals on 5s, could help chip down the last few wounds on a key target, whereas Smokescreen will help keep your tanks alive. First up, the iconic Exorcist. The only anti-tank weapon that's prerequisites is the ability to play an organ. If you want a hell of a crescendo, I'd advise leaving the conflagration rockets at home. The complete lack of AP and strength 5 leave this only suited to raining death on hordes of light infantry. Leave this job to the bolt guns. Now the Exorcist missile launcher is a beast, packing a massive strength 10, solid AP and a decent number of shots. Also, the heavy keyword helps to negate the downsides of indirect fire. The only thing I don't like is D6 damage due to how swingy it is. I'd consider holding a miracle dice to get around this. I've been playing with the idea of having 3 of these surrounding the Triumph of St. Catherine. By using the Ebon Chalice ability, the miracle dice restriction is totally removed, meaning you gear your list to farming miracle dice and then treat those dice like javelin missile rounds as you load them into the chamber and spike your damage rolls to the stratosphere. Sisters are cheap enough that you could have 2 Sisters squads screening. The Valorous Heart ability won't come in very often, but it is nice to have a Feel No Pain to fall back on if needed. Even without this support, the Exorcists are my top pick of tanks this edition. Now for the most ostentatious Razorback the world has ever seen. The Immolator still packs a punch. I'm still opting for the multi-melters, but think its main takeaway is the fire support rule, granting full rerolls to wounds to its disembarked unit, provided it scores a single hit on an enemy unit. This in mind, Retributors with either heavy flamers or multi-melters would be my go-to, but Dominions could be a dangerous choice too. An utterly terrifying combo I've toyed about with is a squad of Retributors with a Dialogus attached, who changes all miracle dice used to 6s, and the Triumph nearby to remove the limit on miracle dice usable could walk on a board edge from outflank. You could then use the Cherubs on the Retributors to gain miracle dice twice. The reroll to wound should get you through the damage step quickly, at which point you dump as many damage 6 shots on the enemy target as possible. Once again, if you have a list that is built to generate miracle dice, you could in theory have 2 Immolators with Retributors, although this would be a lot of points invested, and 1 unit and an Immolator already has enough firepower to reliably drop an Imperial Knight the turn they walk on, provided the Triumph is there and you have at least 4 miracle dice. The Feel No Pain from the Triumph will also help with any enemy reprisals. The Castigator is a tank I quite like, but is not the strongest of the tanks available, but that does not mean it should be forgotten about like most of your responsibilities. Rites of Castigation makes the tank and its chosen turret fantastic at getting hits through against its target of choice. I don't think you can go wrong with either cannon. I would however lean towards the battle cannon as it gets the same number of minimum shots, strength 10, which is key due to the amount of toughness 5 this edition, blast, and ignore cover. This will allow you to target infantry and consistently retain your AP1 and a higher number of shots, whilst allowing you, when needed, to turn your main guns onto enemy vehicles and monsters to benefit from the inbuilt reroll. I think these run better solo, but once again you could chuck the Triumph nearby as it moves up the board. However, I feel this is a bit of a waste, and all in, I don't think either gun is bad. I prefer the battle cannon, but it is a tight run thing between that and the auto cannon. If anyone has done the actual maths, I'd love to hear it, because I don't think there's a lot in it. To summarise, the Triumph combos can be filthy, but it is a lot of points in one place and can open you up to the risk of a smart player keeping away from table edges if you're going for an outflank, or even setting up a flamer unit ready to overwatch your Retributors before they get a chance to shoot. I think it's safest and the least risky to sit it with the Exorcists, but unless you are farming a decent amount of miracle dice with decent values, this could be a waste of a powerful unit. The Castigator's main drawback for the battle tank is its low AP, which is why there is an argument for both guns, as it is a savage damage free either way. I'd advise taking at least 2 of these if you are planning on taking them at all. As for the Exorcist, I would leave the Strength 5 missiles at home as discussed. but I'd do it every time in favour of the Exorcist missile launcher. It's brilliant. It indirectly fires and gets +1 to hit. The D6 is swingy, but as discussed, Miracle Dice, we can get them involved straight away to sort that out. It's also worth noting it does have quite a lot of shots, so some bad damage rolls may not actually hurt you that much. The Immolator, that's still packing that reroll for its Embark squad. That just makes it very strong and has a lot of application across many units in the index. I do however feel that the multi-melters still remain king. Thank you all for watching. If you made it this far, you clearly don't mind me that much, so stick around and subscribe. Don't forget, 2 combat patrols are being given away to our patrons this month, and they could be yours for as little as £3. Oh, and a Warhound. The link for that's in the description.